Welcome to our video where we will be exploring the mysterious and often misunderstood archetype of the Sigma male. Today, we're going to dive deep into what it means to be a Sigma male and where this type comes from. But first, let's start with the basics. What is a Sigma male? Many of us are familiar with the traditional Alpha, Beta, and Gamma male. But the Sigma male is a relatively new concept that first appeared in the early 2000s. A Sigma male is someone who doesn't fit into the traditional roles in the society and expectation of men. They are independent, self-reliant, often seen as a lone wolf, not interested in following the crowd or competing for status, and they are focused on their own goals and desires. Commonly, Sigma male is also often described as being intelligent, analytical, and introverted. He's not interested in the traditional markers of success like money, power, and status. Instead, he's driven by a desire for self-actualization and personal growth. But if it's not just about the traits of a Sigma male, it's also about how they differ from the other types. So where does the concept of Sigma male comes from? The term Sigma male was first coined in the early 2000s by a man named Jack Donovan. He wrote a book, The Way of Men, where he outlined the concept of the Sigma male and how it differs from the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma types. In his book, Donovan argues that traditional masculinity is under attack and that men are struggling to find their place in the world. Donovan sees the Sigma male as a response to this, as a man who is able to navigate the modern world on his own terms. But just to remind everyone, it's important to note that the concept of the lone wolf has been around for centuries. From the Greek philosophers, scorned society's convention, to the iconic figure of the American cowboy, the lone wolf archetype has always been present in our culture. What's different about the Sigma male is that it's not just about being alone. It's about being independent. A Sigma male doesn't need anyone else to validate his existence for his actions. He's not looking for approval or acceptance from others. He's content to chart his own course. In the next section, we're going to take a closer look at the traits and characteristics of Sigma males and how they differ from the other archetypes. We've explored the origins of the Sigma male archetype and some of the key traits and characteristics that are associated with it. But what exactly are those traits and characteristics? One of the defining traits of Sigma male is his independence and self-reliance. He is not interested in following the crowd or competing for status. Instead, he is focused on his own goals and desires. He is not easily swayed by peer pressure or the opinion of others. Another trait associated with Sigma males is their lack of interest in traditional societal roles and expectations. They're not interested in fitting into the mold of what society deems as masculine or feminine. They're comfortable being themselves, regardless of what others think. It's also worth noting that while Sigma males share some traits with introverted and socially awkward types, they are not necessarily socially awkward or shy. They are comfortable in social situations and can be charismatic when they want to be, but they choose their social interactions carefully. So far, we've talked about the positive traits and characteristics of Sigma males, but what are the downsides? Being a Sigma male can certainly have its benefits. Independence and self-reliance can lead to a sense of freedom and fulfillment. The ability to chart one's own course and blaze one's own trail can be incredibly empowering, and the focus on self-actualization and personal growth can lead to a deep sense of purpose and meaning in life. However, being a Sigma male can also have its downsides. The lack of interest in traditional societal roles and expectations can make it difficult for Sigma males to connect with others. They may feel misunderstood or out of place in social situations. And the focus on independence and self reliance can also lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. It's also worth noting that the Sigma male archetype can be used as an excuse for being a loner, for not making effort to connect or build relationships, or for being unwilling to compromise. So, being a Sigma male is not a one size fits all, and it's important to find a balance, to be true to oneself, but also to be open and willing to connect with others when the opportunity arises. In the next section, we're going to explore how Sigma males may fit into different societal roles and structures, and the challenges and opportunities they may face in different cultures and communities. We've talked about characteristics and traits of Sigma males as well as the pros and cons of being one, but how do Sigma males fit into society as a whole? How are they perceived by others and what challenges do they face? One of the biggest challenges that Sigma males face is the lack of understanding and acceptance from others because they don't fit into traditional societal roles and expectations. They can often be seen as odd or eccentric. They may be viewed as aloof or even arrogant by those who don't understand their motivations and desires. However, the Sigma male's independence and self reliance can also be seen as a strength. They are often highly motivated and driven and can make valuable contributions to society in their own unique way. It's also worth noting that Sigma male archetype can be found in all cultures and communities, and their challenges and opportunities may differ depending on the culture or community they are in. For example, in some cultures, being a lone wolf may be seen as a strength, while in others, it may be viewed as a weakness. It's important to remember that the Sigma male archetype is just one way of looking at the world, and not everyone will fit neatly into this mold. But by understanding and accepting the concept of the Sigma male, we can gain a better understanding of the diverse ways in which men express their masculinity. Thank you for listening to the Sigma male video. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to tune in next time where we'll be diving deeper into the world of the Sigma males. Thank you. Welcome to our